Should we start?
Yes.
Good evening and warm welcome to everyone. I am Kalyani, your host for today's session. Sexual harassment of a woman in workplace is of serious concern to humanity in the whole world. It cannot be construed to be in a narrow sense, as it may include sexual advances and other verbal or physical harassment of a sexual nature. The victims of sexual harassment go through a lot. They face psychological and health effects like stress, depression, anxiety, shame, guilt, and so on. We at Infinite Women International Leadership Academy believe in equality at workplace. We cannot speak of equality and empowerment without awareness of the laws meant to protect the safety and dignity of women. Today, we have our esteemed guest for the session, Dr. Advocate Raina Khatri Tandon. Ma'am is the founder of ISO certified POXO organization, training, compliance, and auditing foundation, Right to Rise, and RKT Foundation. Having expert from Harvard education, she has also worked as a National Secretary for Women and Child Development Council of Government of India, and also World Women Summit 2020 Global Ambassador for UN Sustainable Development Goals for Gender Equality, Inclusiveness, and UN Chartered Human Rights. She is an international mentor, a leader, a speaker, and she has 23 years of experience in this field. Let's move on to hear about the topic, about the session, about the topic for our session today, sexual harassment at workplace, POSH Act, about from discussion with her. Over to you, ma'am.
Very much, Kalyani. That was really beautiful. Thank you for the very warm welcome and a very, very introspective and a deep welcome with all my profiling. So thank you. It was very nice. Thank you, Sadhna Giri. Thank you, Chaya ma'am, Kanwar, Riya, Naman, Priyanka, and Harsh. Before we can start, can we actually mute?
Let me
Kanwar, Abhay Pratap Singh ji. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, so before I can even show you something, let's just start with this discussion. What does POSH mean to you? Okay, you can just put on the chat, you can unmute, feel free to tell me. What is POSH? What does that acronym mean? Or what is the full form?
Sexual harassment.
Okay, Priyanka, do you want to try? Thank you, Kalyani.
Yes, ma'am, same as Kalyani. Prevention of sexual
harassment. Okay. What is the name of the act? What is the name of the act that we read? You know the name of the act? That's okay if you don't know. I'm just trying to see whether you know. Okay, so when you read the act, ideally the act talks by its name itself, Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act, and it talks about three important areas. One is prevention, the other one is prohibition and redressal. And today, why we are having so much to speak about this law is that even though it evolved or it came out in 2013, why we are following it now is because it's taken such a form that every workplace, for example, even now, as you are working with Lieutenant Sadhna Giri, you are working with her, you're interning with her, you are working as a team player, or you're even going to be one among the Infinite Ripples. Whether you are in a small concern, whether you're in a big company, you're in a private limited, you should know how you should become gender sensitive to people's emotions, people's feelings, cultures, their backgrounds, their color, creed, race, religion, and also the way of working. And that's something that cannot be taught to you, because we teach everything in school, but we don't teach so much to do with how to be sensitive or how to bridge the gap between genders. Okay, so even though the NEP policy that we hear, the new education policy, has set forward gender sensitivity, the SDG goals, and a lot of other things, we still don't have Indian entities still setting forth too much of it in their units. Okay, so how many schools have actually done it? You might find only say 5 to 10% of schools taking the approach. Why are they not taking the approach? The rural, semi-rural, and the mid-level people, the schools which are not the IGCSE and IB boards, but the rural schools and the tribal schools and the semi SSC board or the CBSE board, they don't see it as a prerogative because they've not been instructed firmly by the okay, I'm going to try and mute that person. Yes. So Kalyani, that's your job. If again somebody is unmuted, then you need to go and mute it. Okay, I'm going to give you that job. All you need to do is click on that participant and then mute it. Okay, thank you so much. Yes. So what I was saying is, even though we have so many laws, acts, rights, today by just listening to me, you're going to get a lot of knowledge and awareness. But what is going to be a win to both Sadhna and me for getting you this session is, what are you going to do after that? Are you going to take some steps? Are you going to make other people aware? Are you going to go forward and implement those ways of working and change that mindset of yours so that you see different people with an equality approach? That includes looking at an LGBT or a transgender or a male or a female with the same eyes, yet to understand the eyes of a person who's abusing you and speak up. It's very easy to say, get up and speak up, but it's not easy for anybody to speak up if we know that. And we are not cultured that way. We are not built that way. We are not wired that way, that we get up and speak up for our own self-esteem. Okay. So self-esteem, self-respect, dignity, rights are the most important things that will be enforced. Now, what is this act? Is it for men, women, or for all? What do you really think, if I have to ask you? Is it for men, for women, or for all?
For all,
Okay. So
but
it's for all.
majorly focused on women because it, like, harassment happens with women, the ratio, if we consider.
Okay. Yes, harassment happens with women at workplace. So you feel that it is mostly for women. Okay, so I want to just show a few slides on and off. So you'll have to give me the host rights, and by the time I get that host rights, I'll tell you what the name of the act is, and you can tell me now. Yes, thank you, Sadhana, for that. Okay, I'm just showing you one slide, and you read and tell me. What can you see? What is the name of the act that you see? Read.
Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act for Women.
Okay, at workplace, 2013.
13, Prevention, Prohibition, and Redressal.
Great. So the name of the act is very clear. It's talking about prevention of sexual harassment and no other thing. Only sexual harassment, for whom? Only for women at workplace. It started in 2013 and it's going to address only 3 things: prevention, prohibition, redress. Clear? It is not for everybody. It is not for women anywhere. It is not for somebody walking on the road, you getting abused, then you come under POSH. No. And POSH is not an acronym that the government has given. POSH is an acronym that we have given. So ideally, if you have to go and talk about this act, you have to be very clear this act is only built for dignity and rights of women. What does it enforce? It enforces the right to life. As a woman, you are allowed to live the way you want, what do you want to do, where do you want to work, when do you want to stop working, do you want to grow in leadership posts? All these things are allowed. But do we really do that now? Do we really have parents telling us, okay, you can get married even after 40? No. You really have parents giving the freedom that you can stay out with your friends, whether they are boys and girls, but you have to keep me informed. Even if you come at 2 o'clock in the night, where are you going? How are you going? And you're okay to go. Maybe very few, right? Or even if you have to tell them just run across the road and get something now, maybe they'll tell, okay, भैया को भेजती हूँ या मामा को भेजती हूँ या पापा को भेजती हूँ, आप बैठ जाओ. Because we are wired like that. It's not a right and a wrong. There's nothing right and wrong here. But our culture has equipped most of the girls at home in this kind of environment, even however you are educated. However you are educated. I'm going to put that in quotes because it's not about education. Equality is not equal to education. Even if you're a PhD today, still your parents will still have maybe a mindset that they don't want to allow you to do things, and they don't see girls and boys in the same way, or they don't give you the same post. There are certain biases, perspectives, and different kind of judgmental norms that our society is enforcing. And why they do that is because that's how the gender has been brought down since the generations. Now, what can we do about it? What can we do? Can anybody allow and tell me? I'm going to allow Atul and Sakshi. It's just entering the room. And before we can go to the next slide, what can you do about it? What do you really think? What can you do? क्या कर पाओगे आप? Just unmute. Now that you, even if you get to know today, what is the act, what are the norms, because I'm here to give you some background about the act, then what is POSH, what is harassment, how does it happen, what are the different ways it occurs, and then if it happens, what do you do? Okay.
Mumsy Creed Russell.
Yeah.
Do
So
this.
first thing is, how do you do what? Okay. Even if it happens to you, do you know what it is? So the first step is to get aware. The second step is that you have to prevent everything that causes it. So that's prevention. Prohibition, yes, you will stop every time it happens, but you can stop only when you are aware. So that's the next step, and then redressal. You don't even need to go to redressal if you do prevention well. Think about it. If you are being touched or if you have been shaken hands by somebody who's uncomfortable, and you say, look, I really know that you are my boss, or you are somebody who I'm acquainted to, and we are good friends, and we are good buddies, or we are good co-workers, but I don't entertain you touching my hands or probably giving me a press over my hands or tapping me on the back or making me feel uncomfortable, because this is what is not my culture. If we are so communicative, the next step will never happen. But the problem is either we shun it away, or we smile, or we are not communicative that we don't like it, right? So that is important. That is the first step that you need to do, is to speak up and say you don't like it. And not most people do that, right? Now, there is some important background that you need to know. Do you know why this act came into effect? Do you know the background behind it? So I'm going to be showing you the person behind which why we have this act. Would you want to know that? Do you like listening to stories? So we have Sakshi, Atul, and Naman, Priya. Can you switch on the camera, please? Chaya ma'am, if you're around, if we can see you as well. And Mr. Abhay Pratap Singh, Kamar Abhay Pratap Singh. It would be nice if you're on camera, because the training of sexual harassment is ideally a very interactive training, and it's good that if you can be on camera, so we get to see you and the understanding you have with this act. Would it be possible to see you people? Okay. I think they're traveling or they're not around. Right. Okay. Let's move on. So yes, you can see the screen. So this is the lady by which we have this important act. And the lady's name is Bhavari Devi. Bhavari Devi or Banwari Devi. And this Bhavari Devi was the reason why we have such a strong act which enforces rights and dignity of women. And what was the story is that, this lady was a Dalit worker. वो एक नीची जाति की, एक गंदी विलेज की, एक छोटे जाति की एक लेडी थी जो चाइल्ड मैरिजेस रोकती थी. Okay, she used to stop all the child marriages that happens over there, and she used to stay at Bhateri, Rajasthan. All that she used to do is stop that. Of course, the people around never used to like it, and we had something in these smaller villages where you have upper middle class, lower middle class, panchayat, the people from the Brahmins. So she used to stop all child marriages. One day she goes and stops his child marriage at a panchayat place. The panchayat is not really very happy with this, so they say, "आप कहीं और जाके ये सब चीजें करो, लेकिन यहाँ पे मत करिए, हमारे घर पे ये अलाउ होने दीजिए." So वो अलाउ नहीं करने देती है, वो जाके वो रोकती है, and because she stopped that child marriage, the panchayat raped her that very same night. Having raped that night, she went the next morning and she complained at the police station with the help of her husband. But little did she know that even the police are mixed with the panchayat, and they all brutally beated up her husband and killed him that very night, and she was second time gang raped. Now, of course, this is a time of, say, 1992, and that time we didn't have so much of social media, Twitter, Instagram, all these kind of things that she can make this halla gulla that we always do nowadays. But yes, all that she could do is to zip her mouth and sit at home and wait for help that could come to her. And she didn't know in the neighboring villages we had a NGO called Vishaka. They came over almost after a period of few years, and they said, "We will help you." So it was a period of 1997. After 5 years, they came to help her, and it took 13 long years for the court to file the case and give her justice. And in 2013, 9th December, we got this act, which is called Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act for Women at Workplace, which is called and formulated by Vishaka guidelines. And it says that no woman should be undergoing any form of sexual harassment. They can be in the form of these 5 ways. Sexual harassment is defined as anything physical contact or advances, making sexually colored remarks, a demand or request of sexual favors, showing pornography, any other physical, verbal, non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. Now, what is physical contact? We're going to see each one of them a little bit so that you get to understand how it happens. Okay, so I'm going to stop screen sharing, and whoever is on the camera, you can interact. Because when you interact, then you get to understand whether it is sexual harassment or not. Okay, so how do we do physical contact? Priya, Kalyani, Priyanka, Naman, Chaya ma'am. Good to see you, ma'am. Sadhna. How do we do physical contact? How does physical contact happen? It'll be more interesting now that we are online, then how does physical contact happen? Go ahead, just give it a try. How does physical contact happen?
Could start with just a
Yep,
handshake.
shaking hand. Awesome. Yes, Chaya ma'am.
One of those things you give an air kiss, these days you go and give a hug,
Yeah.
air kiss. It's
So,
supposed
that
friendly.
is not a physical contact, but yes, it's not
Friendly.
approved. Yeah.
It's like friendly, but it could have other connotations.
Yes, it could. So shaking hand, tapping on the back, very true. So when you shake a hand also, people don't know how to shake a hand. Some of them will do something like this. Some of them will do something like this, and then they'll start pressing you all over. Sometimes they will press one hand and the other hand at the back. Yes, Chayaji.
They'll tickle your palm,
Yes, they'll tickle your palm, they'll touch your finger, they'll touch your internal part, they'll clench or cripple your finger. They'll do this kind of so there are different kind of handshakes. If you Google out on the YouTube types of handshakes, you'll get like a scorpion hand, a fish shake hand, something that is going to crawl you like a crab, a lot of other things.
Yep.
And there are funny people like the politicians, like we have Atal Bihari Vajpayee and our wonderful Modi ji and many other people who have this very classic way of handshaking where one hand is going in the hand, the other one is going at the back or at the on the hip or on the back or anywhere like that. Where people say that, you know, politicians have a different way of handshake. I don't know. That's what I've heard. But if it is happening, then it is also considered as sexual harassment. Okay. So you need to know that physical contact can happen by a physical touch. It can happen by a hug. It can happen by a handshake. It can happen by a tap. It can happen by any one of these forms. And sometimes somebody who is a friend or who's acquainted and not a friend takes the courage of going one step ahead. And you feel, friend hi to tha, shayad mistake se kar liya hoga. But that friend hi to tha has to be very clear. You know, we are good friends, but let's not cross the line. Or let's draw the line that we know we are not actually going aboard. Okay, you have to communicate, or you can just very nicely say, look, I am not from that kind of a family background where, you know, I go and hug everybody. It's totally fine. Somebody comes and even approaches you and you are not comfortable, you can say, hey, look, I know I'm very close to so and so person. For example, I'm very close to Mr. Raj, so it's okay for me to hug, but I'm not close to you, Mr. Rohit, so I would not be able to hug you. So if you don't mind, I mean, we can shake a hand. It's fine to be very clear. You don't have to go hug just because one is hugging, the other one is looking, and he feels that I might be old fashioned and that's what Priya or Priyanka feels. So I should hug. Even he might be uncomfortable. But he does it because he sees the culture of the environment and he says, I think I should do it. Okay. So most of the times, let's communicate. And even if somebody does it by mistake, for example, you're having a cultural fest or you're having a get together, you're just going out for a tea or you're going out for a date or something like that. And casually there's somebody smooching you, kissing you, hugging you, and something unexpected happens. Okay, it's better to say, was it a mistake or something that you intentionally did, but I am not comfortable with this. So if you really feel that you want to go into a relationship, I'm not ready for it. It's better that we stop it here and we don't see each other. Or if we are working in a place, then we draw the borderline. Where do we not want to cross? Because we are mature individuals today and, you know, we are not kids. You guys are very intelligent nowadays and you're very creative in your work. And it's quite okay. Sometimes I have seen children where they feel very guilty that, you know, we fell into a trap of emotions and we did it. And now we don't know how to go back on it. So that's a role of a counselor, a teacher, a mentor, an edupreneur, a leader who comes and says, it's fine, or a parent who maturely understands their children and say, it's fine. I mean, you did it by mistake, you realized it. I think you should not repeat it. And if you've trusted me and told me this, then it's my duty to stand by you. That's what mature parents do. Okay, I have boys, so I don't really think that they will never fall in love or they will never fall into infatuation. But if I'm going to be jumping on their heads and telling them do this, do that all the time, I'm sure they don't share anything with me. But if I am a friend to him and I am able to talk to him and tell him that, you know, something is troubling you, I'm there for you, you want to come and share, then probably yes, it's a good communication pattern. Right? What do you think? Don't you really think? We have some people waiting. Yeah, you can have many friends. Amen. Ma'am, one of my friend is a girl. That's fine. Okay, she got blackmailed. All right. Yeah, so yeah, there would be reasons why she got blackmailed. Maybe we can look at that later. Or if you have, okay. Yeah, I get to read your messages. But yes, before, you know, she got to that position, she should have been kind of a little more aware, right? Or she should not have gone into that trap. Yeah, she's not that kind of girl is something that we can't say. I'm sure everybody is not that kind of person. Whether she is or she's not, or whether she's fallen in trap, it all depends on what was the circumstances at that time and whether you were there or not there, or that's one part of the story. We don't know the other part of the story. I can't blame a boy just because a girl is saying that she was being trapped. Okay, that's the other story that you need to see in Posh. Not every boy is faulty and not every girl is correct. It can happen either ways. Okay, and there are people who do fake promises and fake cases and fake false malicious intent. They want to take revenge. They want to go ahead and do some wrong allegations towards kids. So all those situations occur, or ragging and bullying and lots of things. Sometimes even ringtones which are colored. Now, there is a difference between the mindset that I carry, Sadhana carries, Chaya ma'am carries, or even Atul and Kalyani and Priyanka. We have different generations, okay? And all of us think very different. What you think would not be same to what I think or somebody else thinks. And there will be some maturity in every thought. I'm not saying you are immature. I'm saying there will be maturity in every thought. That means even you have a mature thought, but unless you don't convey that mature thought, we will not be able to understand at our level. So the first step is to understand the awareness. The second step is to communicate. The third step is to understand what are the different ways. Sexual contact, unwanted, unwelcome gesture. For example, you're bending down, somebody's picking up the file, touching you, unwelcome responses, winking at you, maybe singing songs, maybe putting on sexual colored ringtones, maybe giving a sexually colored remark, aap moti ho, aap patli ho, aap lambi ho, aap choti ho, aapke brown baal hai, aapke black baal hai, aapke, you have a tattoo, you have a mole, you have a birthmark, whatever. Or talking about your sexual figure, sexual shape, size, any of those things. And anything which is demand, request, or favors. If you don't come with me for a coffee, you know I'll do this. If you don't come with me for a date, I'll do this. If you do this, I'll do that. Either you demand it, or you're requesting it, or you're threatening it, or you're forcing it, or you're asking as a favor. So these are broadly the different kinds of sexual harassment. Okay, so far clear? Can we hear something from you? Yes, no, don't know? Any questions coming up? And yes, people can come to you with a lot of stories. Unless until he's not your family member, I would always say go to the facts. Without getting the facts, never judge a person. I would never say if there is, for example, Naman and maybe some Sheetal. There's nobody here who's Sheetal, right? There's Naman and Sheetal. So just because Sheetal comes and says, you know, Naman did something to me, I can't say Naman is wrong. That's crazy. Right? Yes, Chayaji. You want to say something? Okay. So ideally, you need to listen to Naman. You need to listen to Sheetal. You need to listen to everybody around. And then if you have some kind of evidences, some kind of proof, some kind of witnesses, and then you can come to a conclusion, or you can help the parties. And you can sort out situations only when you know everything. So ma'am, if a girl needs any help of this kind, we can't trust completely. So can we do anything of this kind? Can we do anything for this kind of people? Yeah, you can. Ideally, you can send them to the right people who can advise them or to provide them guidance. Or you yourself get skilled as a certified person or person who's knowing a lot about Posh, and then give them the advice. It's like going to a doctor who is treating a ear allergy and asking them, I've got fever. Can you give me medicine? How would you give medicine if you're not a doctor? And the doctor has to be the right doctor. It cannot be a wrong doctor, right? So if somebody is coming to you, if you know half-hearted knowledge, then you giving anything that is half-hearted can end her up into another problem. Right? So you need to give them to the right person. Because I'm just giving you the gist of the act. The act has 30 sections and it has everything in detail with a lot of other clauses, if, buts, how do I go ahead and file a complaint? How do I maintain confidentiality? What are the different kinds of steps I need to take if I get harassed? And lot more. So we'll jump into that. As per my knowledge, I suggested few of them to report at cybercrime. So I don't know if this happened on cyber media, then it's cybercrime. So crime can be of different types. It can be online, it can be offline. Again, they are criminal cases, civil cases, tribunal cases, or posh cases. So posh is a very different thing only for workplace. If it's happened with women at workplace, then it is a posh. Otherwise, it comes into something else. So first, just understand if it is sexual harassment or not. How would you understand that? Three things. Is it sexual in nature? If I get up and tell Priya, you're a stupid, idiot, foolish person, right? Is it sexual harassment? And I'm doing that every day, time and again. I'm her boss. So is she getting sexually harassed? Yes, no. Simple. Yes or no? Let's go.
No, ma'am.
No. Why?
Ma'am, it's like sexually harassment is, I think, different from the verbal abuse. So,
Okay, I'll make it simple for you before we go to the next example. Okay. If it has sexual words or sexually intended words, something to do with your body part, something to do with, you use this dirty language, right? Gaan ke niche, ye, wo, I don't know what they use. Anything to do with the body parts or sexually colored words. It has to be sexually colored. If it's sexual in nature, sexual intent, then it comes under posh. Is it only going to one person? Is it subjected only to Priya all the time?
yes.
Is it unwanted, unwelcome to you? Now, something unwanted, unwelcome to me cannot be the same as something unwanted, unwelcome to you, right? For example, a male friend comes and hugs me. It's okay with me because he's my buddy. And I carry that culture that I can hug a male friend very comfortably if he's a close male friend. But if a male friend comes and hugs you, you might not like it. Again, if the male friend is coming and hugging me in front of my father-in-law or my husband, I'm sure I will not like it too. He needs to be very empathetic and understandable that, you know, I'm with family. And why would my husband or my father-in-law have such a big heart to probably accept somebody just hugging me in front of them? Why do I expect that? Maybe that's my culture, but that's not my family culture. Or I don't come from that family background, right? I have developed that culture because I have stayed abroad. I had a lot of clients, I had a lot of stakeholders, and that is the culture outside. And if the person is that close, he might be a close family friend, it could be a close relative friend, it could be anything. So it's okay with me. But I can't expect that you would be okay with it because that's not your culture. So that is unwanted, unwelcome to you. So it comes under posh. Unwanted, unwelcome, sexual in nature, subjective experience defines posh. Nothing else is posh. So what did I ask? If I'm going to always keep giving you dirty words, is it subjected to Priya? Is it only going to Priya? Yes, I do only to Priya. One category, yes. Is it having sexually colored words? Did I use anything wrong words which is having sexually colored remarks? No. Right? Is it unwanted, unwelcome? Yes. She doesn't like it. So it's unwanted and unwelcome. So two things are yes and one thing is no. So it is not sexual harassment. I'll give another instance. Somebody is following, okay, Priyanka is just going to the water cooler. Somebody who's working with her keeps following to the water cooler all the time. And she tells him, look, I don't like it. Are you following me? And he says, no, I'm not following. So second time she does it, third time she is doing it. So finally she comes and tells Sadhna ma'am, who's the founder of the organization or the HR leader in the organization, that, you know, this person is, I want to file a, is following. So is it sexual harassment? Is it having sexual in nature? Yeah, he is going on following her. So the intent is sexual. That is obviously sexual. Is it subjected? Yes, he's only following Priyanka. He's not following Kalyani or Priya. He's only following you. And even though you are not getting raped or sexually harassed or anything now, there could be instances that are happen in future. So you will have to see even the future sometimes. But he's constantly following you because he wants to either meet you or date you or do something to you, right? So it has a sexual intent, it's subjective in nature, and it is unwelcome to Priyanka. So is it sexual harassment? Yes, it is sexual harassment. Okay. So anything that is not having sexual words will come under harassment. Anything that has sexual nature will come under sexual harassment. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, no, don't know, or it's all over the head.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now that you know what is the background, why is this act framed, what are the different kinds of sexual harassment? Now I'll ask you, what if you are sexually harassed? What do you do? Because if you're sexually harassed, you need to know what do you do and where to go, right? So what do you do? Where you go?
Address and prevent the happening.
Yep. So if something happens to me, who do I go to? I am in an employer place. So suppose I'm studying in school, I'm studying in college, I'm in an institution. Now you're interning under Sadhana ji. Then you might be working as a team, or you might be working in a company, or you're working in an NGO, you're working in a setup. So wherever you go, where you see man and women working, there you need to have POSH. If you don't have a POSH setup, awareness not done, a policy not framed, compliance not followed, then there is a penalty of 50,000 rupees. That is what the act says, that you have a penalty of 50,000 rupees. So that is the basic minimum that every employer should do, anybody who's hiring. Safe working environment, policy created, awareness program like this happening, reports, annual reports going if it's a big company, and basic understanding of the act and avoiding any kind of abuse. So if that all is not done, then there is a penalty. But what if I get abuse? What do I do? Where do I go? So you are working with Sadhana. So where do you go?
Sadhana, ma'am.
Where do you go?
Sadhana, ma'am.
To ma'am.
Perfect. If you have a HR, you will go to the HR. If they have a committee, if it's a big place, they will make a committee. A safety cell committee or a IC committee that we call internal committee, which takes care of complaints and handling your complaints and everything. So basically you will go to that person, but now since we are a small setup, you will go to Sadhana and you will tell her this is what is happening and she has to address it. Before that, the first step is you go and tell that person, look, I don't like it, stop it. Communicate. Second, if the person is not listening, you go and communicate to his closer friend, colleague. For example, if I have to tell Naman, stop it. Naman is not listening, I will go to maybe Shiraj and tell Shiraj, can you tell Naman that, you know, something unwanted is being done by him, I'm not very comfortable. So can you communicate to him? If he's still not listening to you and to Shiraj, then you go and complain to Sadhana. Then she will have to take some steps and first to create that safe environment. Either they remove that person from the setup or ask for an apology, or they change the workplace, or they give him some punishments, whatever. There are various steps. So that is the way the system works in an organization or in a setup. And yes, if you don't follow it, there'll be other issues of compliance, penalties, fines, punishments that are given to people who do the abuse and people who are getting it. So they are the aggrieved and the harasser, that's the respondent. Now that you know there is a harasser, there is an aggrieved, and how does a complaint get handled? If you're not handling anything, there's a penalty, all those issues. So I'll quickly be asking you certain questions to check whether you've understood everything. And that is probably going to give us an idea whether you have keenly got what we have said and evaluate yourself. So are you ready on that? Very quick,
Yes,
quick
ma'am.
fire question. Rapid fire, I call it. Okay. Before that, tell me one interesting thing. So sexual harassment happens only between boy and girl, or does it happen between boy and girl, man and man, women and man, women and transgender, any of the genders, whatever? Does it happen? What do you
It's
think?
all gender.
Yeah, all genders.
All genders.
Yeah, so there can be some lady coming and harassing you also. That's also considered as sexual harassment. If she says, oh, what a sexy blouse you've worn. Oh, what a cut over your back. Oh, I can see your lovely butterfly tattoo at your neck. It feels so sensuous. You're such a sexy babe. What a curvy butt. What a hot red dress. Any of these things, or even worse things. And you know, in local language, you can have all kind of words, whether it's in any language. So people can be very nasty when they speak to you. So any of these things also will become sexual harassment. It doesn't matter whether it's girl to girl or boy to boy or boy to girl or boy to transgender. Okay, and there's no shame in talking about these things because ideally, I just say that you are in a phase of life where in the 22nd century, the kids are going to teach their parents much more. So get bold and talk to your parents and tell them, look, I'm having this issue, or I've heard all these things and I need a little clarity. And if they are not very open about talking these issues, then you'll have to seek some guidance because they have to get comfortable. I know a lot of parents are not very comfortable to talk to their dudes, but many a times the children have been very courageous to come up and say, look, I actually wanted to speak to my mother, but my mother is not comfortable, so I want you to speak to my mother and tell her that I would like to know more about this so that I'm safe and I can create a better workspace because I want to volunteer to working in this. So if you like to do anything like that, then yes, you can always reach out to Sadhna and she can contact us and we can see what can be done. It's always a pleasure to be associated in any way. So are you ready for the rapid fire? Or are you scared?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ready. Good. So all unmute. I'm going to quickly ask you, just give the answers together. I'm not going to keep it very difficult. Don't worry. So is sexual harassment for men, women, men and women together, or LGBT?
Everyone.
Okay, so as per the act, it's for women at workplace, but most places now have a neutral policy. So if they are having a neutral policy, then it's for all. Okay. Which year was Sexual Harassment Act passed?
2013.
Perfect, 2013. Naman, are you there with us? Okay, good. So what does IC stand for? It's not the new Netflix series. We have one committee inside the company, no? What is it called?
Internal committee.
Simple. It's inside the committee. It's inside the company. So it's internal committee. Something internal. Okay. Why it is not called internal complaints committee is because now it takes care of a lot of things. Takes care of the woman who's undergoing abuse. Takes care of the filing, the annual reports, the compliances. Takes care of the respondent. It takes care of the complaints, everything. So it's called internal committee. Okay. Where should this internal committee sit? At a coffee shop, at a lawyer's place, at a soundproof room, or inside the workplace?
In the workplace.
क्या लगता है?
The
In
workplace.
the workplace, yes. So we are talking about the setup. So obviously they have to be inside the workplace. And if you don't follow the compliances, what is the penalty?
50,000.
15,000.
One important thing to note, the IC has the powers of a civil code. So anybody who is there in the IC role has to be a very competent person, because if he does anything wrong, then there can be legal implications against him. So that's about it. I think you guys were awesome. Now, if you have any doubts, any instances, anything to ask, please feel free. I'm here there for you. And yes, if there's anything that you would like to get in touch, then our details are there for you. I'll just quickly share, and otherwise you can always contact Sadhna and she'll be more than happy to share my contact number. And Right to Rise is always there around. You can always be a part of us in any of our initiatives, whether it is RKT Foundation or Right to Rise. I can just put the contact details for you over here. I'm having some issue on the share part, but yeah, I can share that for you. You can always stay connected. But yes, you can ask your ma'am. I'm sure she'll share you everything
Yeah.
as well.
I think most of you are following you on LinkedIn already.
Oh, already. So well, so good. Nice. But I think you guys are in safe hands. I'm sure Lieutenant Sadhna Giri is a bold, courageous figure, and she knows a lot about Posh as well. And she's been really, really dedicatedly following ethical workspace rules, I'm sure. So there's nothing to be worried about. You're in a very good place. And you have Miss Chaya Srivastava also around. So I'm sure they're all wonderful ladies, and you are quite in a best place where you can be. Yes, all over to you. Have
Yes.
any questions? Please go ahead and ask.
Go ahead.
Don't worry how.
Just unmute yourself and ask your question. So this is the time to clarify any doubts that you have about the
Yeah,
subject.
don't worry about how silly it is it
Yeah.
crazy, and should I ask? Even if it's, I would say everybody has undergone harassment at least once in their life, whether it is small or big. And if you really feel that there's something troubling you, feel free. You can stop the recording and you can always
Want me to
ask.
stop the
Or you can
recording
always contact.
or
Yeah.
no, not required. So go ahead and ask any question that you might have, and understand it well so that you can operate confidently at workplace.
Yeah, true.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, tell me no, Kalyani.
Yes, ma'am. So like Posh, like what you talked about it deals with sexual harassment at workplace only, or what if sexual harassment happens outside the workplace? So
Okay.
what do we have for that?
So,
Transit.
see, sexual harassment at workplace means that anybody who's connected with you from work. Now, it doesn't mean that is only the four walls. See, now you're working online, right? So, anybody who comes on the Zoom and he shows you a pornographic image, or he plays a joke, or he cracks something about your looks, or the way you look, or your hair, it's still considered as sexual harassment. Now, if there is somebody who knows you from the previous company, okay, and he's now incepted in the new company where you're working, and he comes and harasses you, it's still considered a sexual harassment. He can probably meet you outside the office hours, he can meet you before the office hours, after the office hours, but he is knowing you from workplace. It's still considered a sexual harassment. Now it is only those people who are strangers to you completely. For example, somebody just comes up on the road, वो city मार के जाता है. Now that comes under any kind of harassment that you can go and file an FIR in the police station. And believe me, the police is not so stupid that every day there will be somebody who's whistling at you. They're not going to come behind you. Okay. So let's understand, only if it's a very grave thing where that person has really chadofied you, touched you, done something, then they take action. Because simple things, even they know that, it's very difficult to track. If there is somebody who's on the train, he's whistled at you, he's maybe aankh mari hai, maybe he's pulled off your purse, or he's done some kind of thing where you feel, यार ऐसे कैसे कर सकता है, अभी मुझे उसको complain करना है. He's some XYZ in the world. उसने आंख मारी है, आपको इतना ही लग रहा है तो आप भी आंख मार लो. वो घूर रहा है, आपको इतना ही है तो आप भी घूर लो. Okay, because nowadays I would say women are more bolder than men. And gone are those days that, if they stare, they're probably staring at something else in the world, and you feel they're staring at you. Could be something else as well. So just leave those bits of it. But if there's somebody like sitting in a share rickshaw or a share auto and he's trying to take advantage of, somebody's on the bus and he's abusing you, all these things can be filed as a normal IPC FIR at the police station. It doesn't come under POSH because it's not workplace related. Is somebody who's not known to you, and that would come again, since you are falling in the teens, anything that comes between 0 to 18, done by a family member, done by an acquaintance, done by a person in your school, college, institution, comes under POXO. Because 0 to 18 is a different act, and that's POXO, and that has different provisions like aggravated penetrative sex, any kind of rape, any kind of sodomy, any kind of pornography, any kind of other abuses like sexual assault, sexual harassment. all those 0 to 18 years will come under POCSO. POCSO is a law more for the teens and the youngsters. And if you're over 18 and above, then you come under the adult region. So that becomes French. Okay. I hope I've kind of answered your question.
So POSCO will be addressed by police, right? The
Yeah, POCSO is a
complaint
different
for-
act. It will be again coming under POCSO 2012. So that's a different act. POSH is a different act. But yeah, they have different sections and different provisions. So it comes under Government of India only. And every setup has to enforce that also. But a lot of people don't give so much heedability because it's still not connected to your Aadhaar and PAN. That should have happened last year, but because of the pandemic, it's not happened. So anything that is not trackable is okay for people to break, right? You don't wear your helmet, you don't wear your seatbelt, but that's not so grave. That's what you think. But you don't know when things can go wrong. So I would say it's better to be safe than to be sorry. Right?
Can I just share an experience with you
Yes,
guys?
please, ma'am.
Sexual harassment does not happen only to young people. I'm 74.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
2 years ago, a very good friend of mine in Bangalore wanted me to meet the brother in New Jersey. So I called him up and he said, I'll come and pick you up and take you home. So while he was driving, every time he was saying something, he would put his hand on my thigh and say it. I saw it for once, twice. The third time, I said, do you do this as a habit or are you doing it purposely? He just stopped after that. Okay, so please don't think you've got to be young and beautiful and sweet and everything to be sexually harassed. Even a thing like that, he may not have meant anything, but the very fact that he's meeting me for the first time, I'm his sister's friend, he's taking me home, I've trusted him, and he puts his hand on my thigh and wants to say something. You don't have to do that. So that's also, that kind of a physical contact is unnecessary. I just wanted to share this to tell you that don't think that your age or anything matters. Is it okay if I've shared this with you all?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
It's
so much for
absolutely
sharing.
amazing. Absolutely courageous. I should really applaud you for that spectacular thing. I think you are a role model to speak to these young souls because, like Chaya ji said, it happens to everybody and anybody. Okay, it happens to me almost every day. Why you don't get harassed on LinkedIn? You don't have people telling you you're so beautiful, I love you, I want to date you, I want to meet you. I'm sure that happens to everybody. And if you're not really even acknowledging it, then you're making a fool of yourself, friends. Because if you don't speak up now, and if you don't, there are people who write boldly in bold letters, this is the person who has come on LinkedIn, written this message, this is the screenshot, please unfriend them in your list if you have them. And that's what I call courage. Because that person not only is facing the right to speak up for himself, but also seeing that everybody in the world doesn't undergo that harassment. If we have everybody who's so rightful and so responsible, we will not have this kind of abuse and harassment. We don't even need laws for it. We don't need to run to the police. We always keep complaining that laws, constitution, police are not doing their duty. We are not doing our duty to safeguard ourselves. It was very awesome that Chaya ma'am had the courage to even tell him that. A lot of us even feel the shudder that, she's my sister's husband or she's my sister's family. How do I say it? Family ko bolenge to uska ghar toot jayega. Relative hai to kaise ho jayega. Mama ka beta hai to kaise bolenge. Mama hai to mummy upset ho jayengi. A lot of us have that. A lot of child victims have that in their mind. Even their own parents, fathers abuse sometimes the daughters. It's a very sad story, but it takes a lot of courage to speak up. It takes a lot of courage. It's not easy.
And I think I got that courage when I was 8 years old. I used to be brought up by my grandmother in Mysore, small town. And I'm talking about 65 years ago. Okay. And there was this maths teacher she had appointed for me. One day he just put his hand like this. I looked at, I was just 8 years old. Okay. Okay. Next day he went a little higher. The third day he went a little higher. Then it didn't look good. So I went and told my grandmother. I said, Mama, like this is what this teacher was doing. Is it okay? She took him to the laundry the next day. Okay. Now, if I hadn't told her, she wouldn't have known. It would have gone further. And I wouldn't have known what to do with it. But I had the courage to go and tell my grandmother that I didn't like it. He did slowly, I showed it to her what he did. Okay? So this is what we've got to encourage our young children to tell us what's happening, good touch, bad touch, and all those things. And once we know, we should take action and not, grandmother could have said, oh, go on. He's a teacher. He won't do things like that. She could have said that. But she took me seriously. And I think at that time, I got the courage. And I've been in corporate life for 30 years now. I've been in advertising. I've been in public relations. I've been a journalist for 30 years. And different kinds of people who made different kinds of advances to me. But I knew how to handle them. I did it myself, and there was no posh actor at that time to back me up. I think what we women should learn is to be assertive and express what we have to say in a no-nonsense manner. No. We've got to learn to say no. Sorry, taking up your time.
It's important. It's important that it came out, and it's important that we got to learn, because it's always about all the experiences that people go. And I'm really grateful to Sadhna for having me here. I think I am more grateful to her for having me here than she for me. It's a real inspiration and a real honorable moment to know you, Chayaji. And I'm very, very proud to see that you were able to share this with me. I feel very honored that you were able to share that with me. So a very, very, very big applause for you, because even as a child, not everybody speaks up, but I can just visualize that scene of how, because there are a lot of children who see that and we see it and still we are not able to do anything.
Absolutely.
I have seen it happening in my own friend's place, and I can see the child. It's like having friends together for a party, but another man is getting close to another lady and the children are able to see it. But these people are so casual about it nowadays. And when the child is not feeling uncomfortable, the parent is not even feeling that the child is uncomfortable and acknowledging it. So it makes them feel so dirty about their own parents. And I don't know what kind of family upbringing are we giving them. So a lot of these things should be spoken up with great moments. But yes, we still have a culture where a lot of school principals are not bringing up too much of this in their setup. But with little, I can say you people who are here have heard us. So I'm sure that you should do something about this, stand up and go and do something that you can change at least few lives. I don't talk about millions. I'm not somebody who likes, I have a very vast profile. But when I'm called for a talk, I like to just be known as founder of Right to Rise, Dr. Raina Khatri Tandon, and that's good enough. Okay, you don't need to be known by what credentials and accolades. You just need to be known as a person who you can go and make a change. You can never touch million lives. Forget that. Okay, I have had 23 years of experience, and I'm still able to touch only about maybe 17 or 16,000 lives. And that do I say why? Because in a day, I'm doing at least 6 sessions. Okay. You can go up to my profile. Even today, you know, I had back-to-back sessions from 1 o'clock. 1, 3, I told Kalyani, 1, I cannot even send you what is the coverage of the session. And I told her, just ping me on the WhatsApp. I will write to you in between my sessions. I had 1 at 1, 1 at 3, 1 at 4:30, 1 at 6 with you. And I have 1 at 10 now. So you can just imagine, only if you're doing some maddening work like that, then you can reach so many lives. Even then I'm saying 16,000 lives. Okay, that's a less lives. Only when you're passionate about it. Nobody who's stupid will do that. So I would say, just go and touch that 100 people also. I will be more than happy that, you know, what the time I spent with you and this entire session was really valuable. And you did something out of it.
I want to tell Lieutenant Commander.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a commander's wife.
Yes, ma'am. I know that. I've
Yeah.
seen you in the Navy group.
Yeah, okay. And the
I'm really impressed with your work. Thank you.
second thing I want to tell you is I'm writing a book called Bringing Up Boys.
Mhm.
I'm focusing on what are the things one should teach when you bring up your son. Normally, we teach a lot to daughters,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
but we never think of teaching.
Yes.
So in that, I have included sexual harassment as one of the topics,
Mhm.
how to explain to the boys what it is and what it shouldn't happen, so that even in school, they do a lot of sexual harassment without knowing it's sexual harassment.
Yes.
And they do it to the boys also. The boys do it to the boys.
Yes.
Yes, please do write up one more thing, ma'am.
Yes,
I got this comment when I started my journey, and there was a person who came and asked me two questions. Have you ever gone through abuse and that is why you're doing this? And I said, no, I don't have to go through something to understand a person's pain. And the second thing is, oh, what would you understand because you don't have a daughter? I said, I don't need to have a daughter to understand something. It only tells me that being a woman, I have a much more responsibility to raise my son, that he knows how to communicate to his mother, to his grandmother, to his nanny, to his dadi, and every girl who he has in his life. So
absolutely.
I don't really need to even hear what you're saying because it doesn't even come into my ears. So it is a very bold statement, but like I said, I have never undergone it. I have seen it happen, and I have seen people sitting near me. Fortunately, in a bus or in a share auto, in a share rickshaw, and still the people who are young sit on the phone, not realizing there's somebody who's even keeping their hand here. Unless I have to say stop the auto and get out, otherwise I take you right to the police station. Okay, so there were many instances like this, and I don't know. After that, I have never stepped into even the rickshaw for that matter. I always tell my husband I'll come walking, but I won't take that rickshaw. Because I have in Mumbai, the most interesting thing is you will not get a empty rickshaw individually, but you'll get a share rickshaw first.
Really? Okay.
Yes, and that is the state of the place in certain things. So now, yes, I've been fortunate that I drive down myself. But if you go long distances and you have to hit the train, these are some instances which really bring you down, and you feel that I don't know where India is progressing when it is getting a safe workplace for your children. And the reason why I stepped into it was a lot of concern for the people around and my own family, because having boys doesn't mean that I'm safe. So, what am I leaving behind as legacy for everybody around? So that's about it. I think if you have any other questions, yes, you'll be happy to answer. But really a valuable time spent. Thank you so much, Sadhna. I owe you so much.
This was interesting. Thank you. When I saw this on Facebook, I said, I must be here today. I'm glad I came in.
Thank you, ma'am, for your presence. It really meant a lot. And whatever, every word that you shared definitely will enlighten all those who will, in fact, listen to the recording, which I'm going to put on YouTube. And you don't know what kind of impact it will have. It will really change a lot of lives, especially a lot of women who think, who have this misconception that it will not happen to old people or after a particular age. No, it happens at every age, like you said. So it was a very few will come forward, or very few women of your age will come forward and share that with us. So now you've shared with us, we know, Anna, like the preparedness will be there, and we know how to deal with it because you've set an example. So that's the best thing of you being here. Thank you so much.
Much, everybody. Thank you, Sadhna.
Thank you, Rena. Thank
Really good to hear you, ma'am. Especially Chaya ma'am and Lena ma'am. We thank you for connecting with us. We have learned a lot from you, and we'll keep this with us for the rest of the night.
Yeah,
Make people aware also.
Kalyani.
Yes, ma'am.
Rena,
So, like,
a few seconds.
Yes, ma'am. It was an honor to hear Raina ma'am, and I also thank Chaya ma'am to share her experience with us. It touched me. It really touched me, and I really understood how important it is to be for our generation to be really assertive and to learn to say no. And we await the book you are writing. It was a pleasure to have Raina ma'am on this platform with us today. The session was really interactive, interesting, and informative. It was an honor to hear from you all, and ma'am, to touch this sensitive topic and how needful it is to be aware of this topic. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule and sharing your knowledge and your experience with us today. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. So kind of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rena. Thank you.